you are good at storytelling, you can just decide to tell your story in a very, very passionate way in a very passionate pattern that will command or appease people's emotion. And when it's able to appease people's emotion, people will be able to relate and people will interact with you and you'll be able to draw audience from that, and then from that people will get to know you, and then from that people will be like, okay, so what do you do? Let me give you an example. Probably let me use myself as an example. So I grew up in a very local area, so I didn't have opportunity to good and standard education like a normal Nigerian would have access to. I was deprived of different things while growing up, but while growing up, God helped me, God showed me favor, and I was able to meet up with one big auntie. She took me in and decided to give me access to good education and standard living. That's just like an example of storytelling. I'm not telling my story, like it's not my personal story. I just cook up this story to let you know how interesting storytelling can be. You understand? So storytelling is very powerful. So many people that talk about their different stories online, probably it's not their personal story. They just cook up the story from their head and they'll be like, I think this is going to make sense. It's just like when you are making film. When you're making film, people cook up stories and it will be so interesting and it's going to move crowd, while people share their personal experience, their life experiences, and it will also move people. So it depends on whichever way you want to do it. Just do it and make sure you're creating content. Content creation is the talk of the town. You've heard of Mr. Too Funny Sabrinos. You've heard of Tahoma, Tokemakiwa. We have different kind of content creator on social media. They are doing well and they are selling their products. So it's not enough for you to just create content and sell your story. While telling your story, while selling yourself, make sure you are selling your product alongside, because making sales is the goal. So that'll be a wrap for this episode. I'm Tolilope Akinyemi, and I hope that you've learned one or two things from today's episode. If you have any questions about what I just discussed, do also leave a comment for me on Facebook and YouTube. I would attend to it in the next episode. So see you in the next episode. Bye.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today. I am Joya Kiola. Bye.
I was a kid, Uncle Remus, he put me to bed with a picture of Stonewall Jackson above my head. Then Daddy came in to kiss his little man, with gin on his breath and a Bible in his hand. He talked about honor and things I should know. Then he staggered a little as he went out the door. I can still hear the soft southern winds in the live oak trees, So what do you do with good old boys like me? Nothing makes a sound in the night like the wind does. But you ain't afraid if you're washed in the blood like I was. The smell of cave jasmine through the window screen. John R. and the Wolfman kept me company. By the light of the radio by my bed, with Thomas Wolfe whispering in my head. I can still hear the soft southern winds in the live oak trees. And those Williams boys, they still mean a lot to me. Hank in Tennessee, I guess we're all gonna be what we're gonna be. So what do you do with good old boys like me? When I was in school, I ran with a kid down the street. But I watched him burn himself up on bourbon and speed. But I was smarter than most, and I could choose. Learned to talk like the man on the 6 o'clock news. When I was 18, Lord, I hit the road. But it really doesn't matter how far I go. I can still hear the soft southern winds in the live oak trees. And those Williams boys, they still mean a lot to me. Hank in Tennessee, I guess we're all gonna be what we're gonna be. So what do you do with good old boys like me? Yeah, what do you do with good old boys like me?
I've always felt like that the blues and country music were kissing cousins. A bit difference in the way instruments are used and some of the energies. But as far as to the greatest extent, what blues addresses and what country, true country, addresses, it's all wrapped up in feelings. And the best songs go to the heart of whatever emotion that song is addressing.
Knowing you stand by me through good and bad makes all the difference in my life. Day by day, sweetheart, I find these are the ties that bind. The little things you do that please me so. Oh, the way you always understand. When simple joys bring peace of mind, these are the ties that bind. You're all I need to see me through. Can I say more than and this my love. I live just for your kiss, my love, and I live for your kiss, my love, forever and a day. My love will live. Oh, the flame of love will never die. So heart and soul, please say you're mine, held by the ties that bind. Sometimes you feel lost and far from home. Then with just one kiss, you're a king on a throne. It can make you soar like an eagle, or it can make you feel meek as a dove. But whoa, 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 that's the thing about love. You hope and pray the right one comes along, but some fools don't know what they've got till it's gone. The very one you think will never hurt you always seems to be the one that does. But whoa, 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 that's the thing about love. You can't have it until you give it. You can never give it enough. Whoa, 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 that's the thing about love. No, you can't have it until you give it. You can never give it enough. So next time you call in a natural flow, deep in the feelings with your heart all aglow, don't stop to try to understand it. Just thank your lucky stars shining above and say, whoa, 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 that's the thing about love. Whoa, 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 that's the thing about love. Writing or recording or performing. And that's that's a real tough question to answer, because they all do totally separate things. If you write the song and you write alone, it's a very solitary exercise, and can be very lonely and sometimes painful. In the studio, that's a real exciting environment, because
you're trying to take a brand new work by yourself or someone else and make it live. In live performances, it's an echo of what you've already done. And so the main thing that you work off of with the live performance is to hopefully muster up that original feeling as near as possible to what you had when it was created, and as much as possible enjoy the experience of that evening with those fans.
Till the rivers all run dry, till the sun falls from the sky, till life on earth is through, I'll be needing you. I know sometimes you may wonder, from little things I say and do, but there's no need for you to wonder if I need you, 'cause I'll need you till the rivers all run dry, till the sun falls from the sky, till life on earth is through, I'll be needing you. Too many times I don't tell you, too many things get in the way, and even though sometimes I hurt you, still you show me every way, till the rivers all run dry, till the sun falls from the sky, till life on earth is through, I'll be needing you.
Well, good morning, viewers at home, and welcome to AM Cafe, the first edition in the new month, in the new week, Today is the third day of October. We are still basking in the euphoria of the 62nd independence anniversary of our own dear country, Nigeria. And from our hand here, we're still saying happy 62nd independence anniversary to our esteemed viewers at home. My name is Adeyemi Abodere. On the program today, we are going to look at the renewed outbreak of Ebola virus, from where it started in DR Congo. What is Ebola? Where was it discovered? When was it discovered? How contagious is Ebola? How can it be transmitted? Is there any vaccine for the treatment of Ebola? What efforts are governments in Nigeria putting together to ensure that our people are insulated against the deadly Ebola virus in Osun State? How is government here in Nigeria State also, answering to the renewed outbreak of Ebola virus? All these will form part of our discussion on the program here in Cafe this Monday morning. My guest is a director in the State Ministry of Health. He's a regular face on our program here at Cafe and is an expert when it comes to the issue under discourse this morning. I'm very sure he will break it into pieces for you so that our viewers at home will have a deep knowledge of what we are going to discuss and how we are going to prevent ourselves, one another, from being a victim of Ebola. Let me welcome Dr. Akim Bello on AM Cafe, the first in the new month of October. Dr. Akim Bello, you are welcome on board.
Yeah, good morning.
How has it been?
Well, thank you. We are managing, and to our viewers at home, happy celebration.
Yes, we are managing, and we continue to manage, at least in as much as the Almighty God is with us. Well, we welcome you once again. Ebola. When you hear the name Ebola, it sends shock waves, down the spine of many people when we remember, the problem, many deaths as a result of Ebola, as it happened in DR Congo. And when Mr. Sawyer brought it to Nigeria, we could remember what we face as a country. But let's start from the foundation. What is Ebola? Where was it discovered? How contagious is Ebola?
Well, thank you very much again. Viewers to good morning. Well, Ebola is called Ebola virus disease. Initially, it was only called Ebola hemorrhagic fever. It's a deadly disease, highly contagious. It has a case fatality rate of about 50%, and from 25% to 90% of people having Ebola who died of it. Well, Ebola, the first documented case of Ebola happened in the year 1976. It happened in two places, that is Southern Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And the region, the Democratic Republic of Congo, it happened very close to the place where they have this river Ebola, and that's where it takes the name of the virus. The virus will just present like a common fever, typhoid, patient because with fever, can have body pain, malaise, can have sore throat, then rashes, the vomiting, and eventually they may show signs of liver and kidney failure, and again they will have external or internal bleeding. And if care is not taken, if anything is not done immediately by way of rehydration patients, And there's some drugs now that some antibodies are usually given to the patients. But the case mortality rate is about 50%.
50%.
It's a very dangerous disease. It's deadly. So it's better prevented than having it. So that's for now. That's what is. Although globally, there's a vaccine now being used in Ebola case. And the one funny thing about the killer Ebola is that Ebola is transmitted from wild animals like the cat, chimpanzee, gorilla, and so on and so forth to woman, and can be transmitted from woman to woman. Now, from research, it can be transmitted from a pregnant or a breastfeeding mother to
from
the
lactating mother to the baby,
and also to the husband. So it has also been documented that it can be sexually transmitted now.
That makes it very, very contagious.
Very contagious.
So, talking about the discovery of Ebola virus in Congo and southern Sudan, then globally, you said there is a vaccine now, at least to curb the spread of Ebola virus. Apart from that, what other measures are government doing to curb the spread of Ebola? In recent times, there's another outbreak of Ebola virus in DR Congo.
Well, actually, there's a lot going that way. You know, a single report of Ebola is already an outbreak. The case now, you can see now there's a lot of awareness all over the world, from WHO, from our government. And again, the moment you hear that now, like in Nigeria, what we have in Nigeria is that the National Center for Disease Control, NCDC, they are one in charge of all these diseases outbreak. And the moment you hear the tell, in fact, before self, it comes to the country. They raise the awareness to inform our people, then our border are set in motion. Okay, and again they try to prevent cross-border traveling. And what can we do? There's usually dedicated team in all the states, and in public health departments, and mainly epidemiological unit. We have the surveillance team, we have case management team, we have infection prevention control team on ground that determine possible that if this thing should happen, they are already on ground. And the most important is like what we are doing now, just to educate our people. What can we do to prevent the spread of this illness? And I've said that, okay, if we educate our people, we tell them the source, where this can come from, and what do we expect. Because, and I've said that it's just like ordinary fever, ordinary malaria fever, ordinary type of fever. Until you do the testing, you don't know. But when you do the testing, you know it's a viral illness. The majority of them will go on their own. But because of the mortality, case fatality involved, we have to do everything possible, at least, to improve the chance of the patient surviving.
Yeah, you talk about the symptoms. What are the common symptoms, and how can we, detect the symptoms, and what are the steps, immediate steps to expected to be taken when these symptoms manifest?
Yeah, firstly, we have to know the incubation period of this patient, of this disease. The incubation period of this disease is that what I meant by incubation period is that the first, when you get infected, the time you get infected, the interval you get infected, and the time you have the first symptom of the illness, it usually takes 2 to 21 days.
Okay. Around 3 weeks.
Yes, 2 to 21 days. And the symptom you expect that They need headache, fever, general body pain, vomiting. They can have diarrhea. They can have sore throat. They can have sore throat. Then rashes all over their body. Then they can be bleeding externally or internally. At least that one externally you see it. The internal you may not be able to see it. And again, there may be signs of organ failures, like the kidney failures and liver failure. Those are the main signs of these. And again, by the time what we normally do for patients with Ebola is that because of the vomiting, because diarrhea, we try for a person to rehydrate, to give them fluid, to give them drink. The patient, and again we treat other symptoms that comes along. It's only when we have after confirming the illness, of course, definitely we need to be isolated.
Yes, that is what I want.
They will need to be.
They need to be isolated.
Of course, they will need, because I've told you now, it's very early contagious illness, and it's really spread from body fluids, excreta, urine, urine, sweat, and blood. So that you are, if you have a suspected case of Ebola, you have to be very serious. You have to you reduce your contact with the patient. And the key, there's what we call barrier nursing. Barrier nursing. Where we are keeping the patient, you don't want the patient to be exposed to others.
But will you require the patient to be put into an isolation center, or can he be treated at home?
It depends on the area you are. It depends on the area. But presently, in Nigeria, the facilities that we have on ground, definitely patients are not encouraged to be treated at home. They are encouraged to be taken to hospital and to be taken to, perhaps we have called the isolation centers. Like in Osho State now, we have about 3 isolation centers that are functioning. We have them on ground. So we are not praying for us to have this kind of illness again, but we already said upon the emotion that if you have this kind of things, what can we do? What can we do? But the first thing that just to educate our people, like what we are doing this morning, we are telling them, okay, please, this thing has already been reported somewhere, and we are now in the global village. You can report a case in Congo today, in the morning, in the evening, it can get to Nigeria. So we have to be very careful. We have to prepare our minds that, okay, fine, if this thing should happen, what are we expecting? We are not praying for it to happen. And what can we do? So we are not trying to not become a victim.
You talked about a vaccine available for the treatment. The question is, how is the availability and the accessibility of this vaccine, most especially in Nigeria?
And not truly speaking, I must tell you, the vaccine is not that really readily and freely available, because where the vaccine is available is usually in Congo. And I think in there where they have the vaccine. And Congo probably since the first case in 1976, they've had about more than 10 episodes of the disease. So those are the areas they are facing now. Maybe I think there is no more they are no more in trial phase. They are no more trial phase. They've completed trial phase, and they've discovered that the vaccine is very effective. So maybe by the time very soon they make the vaccine to be readily available globally.
Well, we are still on the program, AM Cafe, and my guest is Dr. Akeem Bello, the director in the State Ministry of Health, and we have been talking about the recent outbreak of Ebola virus in DR Congo, and measures expected of us to be taken, at least to insulate ourselves from a contagious disease called Ebola. Dr. Bello, you talked briefly about how Ebola could be contacted. So now it can be contacted through sexual intercourse and from lactating mother to the baby. Apart from those two, what are other means of contacting Ebola virus?
Those ones I said, they are really secondary sources. The primary sources are actually, for example, now the the virus, the Ebola virus, domiciles in the white animal, like the
Wild animal.
like the bats, the monkeys, and the chimpanzee, the gorilla.
Gorilla.
Yeah, those are the ones that actually have the but if a human being can contact the illness through this animal by eating the animal or any body fluids, when they grow close to the animal, when they contact for any body fluid of the animal and the organs of the animal, the blood, the excreta, the sweat coming from the animal, then it can be transferred from human to human. Woman to woman, like getting contact. For example, now if somebody is having Ebola, you don't know, you get in touch with them, you touch the blood, you get in contact with the blood, with the excreta, with the urine, with sweat, saliva, all those things can cause to be spread. So those are the way they
So
spread.
you want to advise our viewers at home now to, at least for now, avoid eating bushmeat.
It's better. It's better. But if they want to watch me, they have to be well prepared. Well prepared. That's what I will advise them. So you know what I mean by well prepared.
Well, Dr. Akim Bello, in Nigeria, what are the measures already in place, at least proactiveness against Ebola spread?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Moderator. As I've said before, actually, this is not the first time we are, although we are yet to have it this time around, but if you are having it, this is not the first time we'll be having it, or similar cases of disease of epidemiological importance. So the NCDC,
That is the National Center for Disease Control.
They are the major stakeholders when it comes to issue like this. They're already prepared. They are economical units, as well as units. They give weekly updates on this kind of issue, and again, we have port health. That's the medical workers that they are the ones that manage that they stay in the borders, that examine people that are coming into the country, and again, when they see that you are coming from a place where there's an outbreak of it, they know how to screen you. They are ready. They are at the ports. They know how to screen you with your history and some other information they will do. I think the ball is already said. So they are just like in this state now. I've said that in this state we have our team already in the public health department. We have the surveillance team. We have the case management team, pillar. We call them pillars. We have the case management pillar. We have infection prevention, disease prevention and control. So we have them ready. So, and again, what we need to do is that we try as much as possible to educate our people that there's no cause for alarm. We are not praying to come, but if you should come, we are on top of the station.
So Nigeria has not, in any case, attained pandemic level of a virus.
No, we are yet to report any case. This time, we are yet to report any case. We are yet to report any case.
Okay. If you are talking about patients and the Nigerians and the need for them to put in place preventive measures from contacting Ebola virus, what about medical officials who are taking care of the patients? How should they be able to take care of themselves? because people usually say, if the patient is sick, the medical officers will be the one to attend there. How you want to advise them to take care of their own safety as well?
You know, with our experience during COVID, there are so many things now we are not going to take for granted when it comes to treating our patients. So we try as very possible that if a patient comes, if you go to any of our expert centers now, you see them like when patient is coming, we try as much as possible to at least to protect themselves. They try as possible to protect themselves first. You see, we preserve ourselves, we give some distance to the patients, then you got protective wears, sanitizers, and you wear your face mask. Those are how we put almost all the expertises that we get from the government. That's how things are being done now, because we have to protect ourselves first before we protect others. You too can, as a medical personnel, you can be having an illness that you can infect the incoming patients with, but we try as much as possible to protect ourselves. By protecting ourselves, we are protecting the patients.
Well, Dr. Akim Bedu, maybe we should dedicate a few minutes to the speakers of local language Yoruba for them to be part of the proceedings on AM Cafe this morning. Take one or two questions in Yoruba. Aki èèyàn àtẹ̀wọ̀n wálé pé ẹ káàárọ̀ ètò AM Cafe la wà lórí ẹ̀ láti iléeṣẹ́ tẹlifíṣàn ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun OSBC tá a fi kalẹ̀ sí ilé àwúyé òkè ìbálẹ̀ Òṣogbo. Lórí ètò láàárọ̀ yìí ọ̀rọ̀ àìsàn tí wọ́n ń pè ní Ebola là ń gbé yẹ̀wò. Tá a bá gbàgbé lẹ́nu bíi ọjọ́ mẹ́ta ẹni wọ́n ti sọ pé Ebola ó tún gbéṣẹ́ ẹ̀dẹ́ ní orílẹ̀-èdè tí wọ́n ń pè ní DR Congo, níbi tí ìtàn tó sọ fún wa pé ó ti bẹ̀rẹ̀. Àwa wò pé ikú tó ń bojú gbẹ̀ ni òwe ló ń pa fún ni. Tí ó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní DR Congo, àwa náà ká tètè mọ ṣètò sílẹ̀ láti rí i pé kò wọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà. Ara ètò náà la gbé kalẹ̀ láti kọ́ àwọn èèyàn wa pé Ebola kò tí ì lọ tán pátápátá, bó tilẹ̀ jẹ́ pé kò sí lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà, ó sì wà lórí àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè kan. Àwọn àgbékalẹ̀ wo ló yẹ ká ṣe láti rí i pé àdáàbòbò ara wa, àdáàbòbò ìlú, láti rí i pé Ebola kò kàn wá kú gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè. Mo lálejò láàárọ̀ yìí, dókítà ìmọ̀ ìṣègùn òyìnbó ni wọ́n, ọ̀gá àgbà kan ni wọ́n jẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Dókítà Akim Bello lórúkọ wọn. Wọ́n ti ń sọ ní fúrìnfìtìn látẹ̀kan. Wọ́n lẹ́yìn tó bá sóyìnbó nílé àná yóò fẹ̀ràn rẹ̀ túmọ̀ rẹ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n kí dókítà onímọ̀ ìṣègùn Akim Bello sórí ètò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí gbó kí n kàárọ̀. Ẹ sì kó àbọ̀ sórí ètò. Ebola kí ló ń jẹ́ Ebola? Ọ̀nà wo là ń gbà kó? Kí làwọn ètò tó sì wà ńlẹ̀ láti rí i pé a dáàbòbò ara wa lórí Ebola?
Ẹ ṣe kí wọ́n lóòótọ́ ẹ̀yin aráalé àkó ẹ̀yẹ ọdún òmìnira fẹ́mẹ́ra. Àìsàn Ebola ó dà pé gbogbo ọ̀la ti máa gbọ́ rí. Ebola jẹ́ kan ní ara àwọn àìsàn tí kòkòrò tá a lè fojú rí tó ń pè ní virus tó kó tó dá sílẹ̀. Virus yìí inú ẹranko, àwọn ẹranko tó bá lè nínú igbó bíi àdán, bíi ìnàkí, bíi ọ̀bọ inú wọn ló máa ń gbé. Àmọ́ tí àwa èèyàn tí a bá ti ní àjọṣepọ̀, omi bóyá a jẹ wọ́n, àfọwọ́kẹ́jẹ wọn, àfọwọ́kẹ́gbẹ́ àwọn ẹran yìí àti ìtọ̀ wọn, a lè kó láti bẹ̀. Tí a bá kó láti bẹ̀, a lè ní ìdákejì àtúnlé kó lára ẹni tó bá ti kó ẹlòmíì lè kó lára ẹ nìyẹn báwo la ṣe kó lára ẹ nìyẹn ni pé tí ẹni yẹn bá sì dábàá fọkàn ibi ẹ ìgbẹ́ ẹ ẹ̀jẹ̀ ìtọ̀ ẹ̀ àgbẹ̀bẹ̀ lọ àlékò láti ibẹ̀ ní ìwádìí tí àwọn olóyìnbó tó ṣe a rí pé obìnrin tó máa ń fún ọmọ lọ́yàn tó bá ti ní àìsàn Ebola yìí lára ó lè fi sí ara ọmọ ẹ̀ ó lè kóran ọmọ ẹ̀ bí ọmọ bá kú oyè ọmọ nìkan dẹ̀ gbọ́ ó máa ń mú ọyẹ ni ó máa kó àìsàn yìí àti tó àtúrí pé ẹni tó bá ní àìsàn yìí lára tó bá jọkùlọ lóbìnrin àìsàn yìí lè wà ó lè jẹ́ bí àrùn gbajúmọ̀ tí obìnrin lè kó ní ara
tó máa jọ
láṣọṣepọ̀ tí ó máa that's what we call safe sex tí ó máa ń lò yẹ bẹ́tà ṣẹ̀mọ̀ pé tó bá ń lo fèrè ìdábòbò yẹ tó bẹ́tà tí ó máa ń ṣe tí ẹni ẹ̀ because tí ó bá lọ ó lè pẹ́ kó tó bá lọ lára ó lè pẹ́ kó tó lọ ní inú àtọ̀ tó ń jáde lára ẹni tó bá ti àìsàn yìí tá à ń pè lẹ́bọ̀lá yìí ó le gan tí èèyàn ọgọ́rùn-ún bá dé ó lè èèyàn bí àádọ́ta bẹ́ẹ̀ ó máa bá bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ti rìpọ́tẹ̀ pé èèyàn bí márùndínlọ́gbọ̀n sí àádọ́rùn that 25% to 90% the case fatality but averagely 50%. So àìsàn tó yẹ kí kábòjútó ni àìsàn yìí jẹ̀bi ẹni tó bá ní ó lè máa tìmọ̀ kó ní because ó lè wá bí ẹni pé èèyàn ní ibà orí fífọ́ ara ríro ọ̀nà fún máa dùn ó máa bì ó máa yàgbẹ́ then ó máa ní àwọn rashes bí àléfò ní ara then tó bá yá ó máa ní àwọn nǹkan tó lè ṣó pé bóyá bí kíndìnrín àbí ẹ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀ ti ń bàjẹ́ then parẹ́parẹ́ ẹ̀jẹ̀ lè máa jáde ní gbogbo ara ẹni yẹn àbí kẹ́ni ẹ̀ kí ẹ̀jẹ̀ máa ṣe sí ó máa jáde sí inú ẹ̀ nínú ara ká máa rí ní ìta àìsàn dẹ̀ tó bá dẹ̀ múyàn láàrin ọjọ́ tó bá kí ẹ máa kọ́kọ́ kó ọlọ́yin máa fi àwọn symptoms ẹ̀ wọ́n máa ń láàrin ọjọ́ méjì sí ọjọ́ mọ́kànlélógún that's 2 to 21 days that's the incubation period but gbogbo tá à ń sọ yìí àìsàn yìí ó ẹgbẹ́ ìjọsìn gbọ́ báyìí sọ ó pààyàn pọ̀ and ibi tí ó ti kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ tí ìwé fi yé wa ìtàn fi yé wa kó ti kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ọ̀nà méjì ni ní Southern Sudan àti ní Democratic Republic of Congo ní ọdún 1976 nígbà tí ó dẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ níbẹ̀ ní ti Congo yẹn ibi tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ ó súnmọ́ ẹgbẹ́ odò kan tí wọ́n pè ní Ebola River so torí ẹ̀ ni wọ́n fi sọ wọ́n la fi sọ torí odò ẹ̀ la fi sọ ẹ̀sán ẹ̀ ní Ebola virus disease tó jẹ́ ní ọlọ́tún.
Dókítà Bello ẹ jẹ́ ká wá wo àìsàn yẹn ọ̀nà wo la lè gbà kó kí ni ìgbésẹ̀ tó yẹ ká gbé ẹ ti sọ wípé tá a bá ń lájọṣepọ̀ àti ìyá tó ń fún ọmọ lọ́mú àwọn tó ń jẹran ìgbẹ́ náà wọ́n lè kó ń bẹ àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́.
ẹ ṣe olóòtú pé kó sọ ẹran ọgbẹ́ ẹ̀rọ kan ní ìyẹ̀kan ní kókó tí a fi lè pọ̀ that's that we call the primary source ẹ̀dẹ̀ mọ̀ tí tí báàlà ṣe lè kó lára ẹgbẹ́ ẹran ọgbẹ́ tá a bá jẹ tí a bá rà tí wọ́n ṣe dáadáa tí yóò jiná dáadáa tí yóò pa kòkòrò tí yẹ kó pa a lè kó láti rẹ̀ then tí wọ́n bá pa ẹran ọgbẹ́ ẹni tó kọ ẹran ọgbẹ́ tó fọ ọkàn jẹ lè kó lára ẹ̀ àdán tó fò tó náà sáré àwọn ẹranko tó máa ń pẹ́yọ̀ yẹn sí mọ́ṣáláà àwọn ẹranko tó máa ń sáré tó náà sáré tó yàgbẹ́ tó tọ̀ ọtí ẹnìkan fọwọ́ kàn èèyàn lè kó láti bẹ̀ so ìyẹn gbogbo ní kókó so ìdàkejì ni pé ènìyàn tó bá ti kó láti ara ẹranko yìí tó rẹ̀ náà tó bì ní o tó yàgbẹ́ ní o àwọn èèyàn mi lè kó láti bẹ̀ mo lè rí sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan tí àwọn àìsàn yìí virus tó bá ti wọnú ara a máa pọ̀ sí ibi tó bá ti pọ̀ sí tí bóbìnrin tó bá ń fọmọ lọ́yàn kòkòrò yìí ó lè wọ inú ọyàn obìnrin ọyàn tó ń fún ọmọ ó gbàbẹ̀ wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ ọmọ ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ nínú irú ọkùnrin tó bá ní lára tó bá pọ̀ lára ẹ̀ tó bá ní kòkòrò yìí ó lè wọ inú àtọ̀ ẹ̀ sóbi tátọ̀ dé sí láti bẹ̀ tó bá jọ tí ó bá ní àjọṣepọ̀ pẹ̀lú obìnrin tí yẹ pé ó protect ara ẹ̀ tó yẹ pé ó lò fèrè ọkùnrin lè lò fèrè obìnrin lè fèrè dáwọ́bò wọ́n lè kòkòrò yìí wọ́n lè fún ara wọn wọ́n lè bọ́ sí ara láti ọkùnrin kò bọ́ sí kó bá tó bí wọ́n wà transmit sí ara obìnrin.
Ǹjẹ́ oògùn wà fún àìsàn?
Ṣẹ́rí àìsàn yìí majority of cases tá a máa ṣe ni pé because of the vomiting and diarrhea ẹni ẹ máa lose omi tó pọ̀ lára wọn láti fi rí ẹgbẹ́tì láti bó bá ṣe ti lára ṣe máa fún lóbi so that two àwọn oògùn kan wà tó ń pè ní bíi antibodies tí wọ́n lò sí láti tọ́jú àìsàn yẹn but antibodies náà kéde pé pé but the most important thing ni pé kí a prevent àìsàn yẹn tí èèyàn bá ní àìsàn yẹn majority of complication symptoms ìlànà treat kì í ṣe this is a viral illness but with the antibodies that have been we have it now and again too àwọn abẹ́rẹ́ àìsàrà ó ti wà fún but abẹ́rẹ́ àìsàrà tó wà pé kò tí ì dé gbogbo kò tí ì dẹ̀kun dàbí ti covid
kò tí ì dé gbogbo lé kò tí ì dé tọ́rọ fọ́kálẹ̀.
yes kò dàbí ti covid èyí tó abẹ́rẹ́ àìsàrà tó wà sí àwọn bíi Congo Guinea Uganda ibi àwọn ibi tó ti àìsàn tó pọ̀ sí ni wọ́n ti lò wọ́n dẹ̀ rí pé wọ́n rí result ibi tí wọ́n ti.
Dr. Bello, on a final note, what would be your general advice to Nigerians as far as the issue of Ebola outbreak is concerned?
Well, actually, I don't really want to talk only about the Ebola virus. It's not all these diseases. We have Ebola, monkeypox, we have COVID. We should try as much as possible. We should try as much as possible to protect ourselves. Because we try as much as possible to protect ourselves. Because the prevention is said that is better than cure. Because we don't know if governments are trying, they say the vaccines are available, we should be vaccinated. We should be vaccinated. Like all these cases of this, you know that this case of COVID, some people are still saying they are not going to take vaccine. But the truth is that, I've said it, prevention is better than cure. Let's take the vaccine, let's protect it, let's protect ourselves, let's eat good food, let's take our drugs, and let's go to hospitals. So, because all these diseases, they are here with us, and they are not going We don't know the time. They are not going for now. For now. And you know, we don't know next time which one is still coming. Because we kind of experiment we do nowadays. There's a lot of experiments going on. And with the experiments, we are working with biological agents. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. We travel as possible, protect ourselves, we prevent all these diseases, and we eat good food that will boost our immune system.
Well, I want to appreciate Dr. Akim Bello for finding time to educate us, to enlighten us on the Ebola disease. And like he rightly said, prevention is better than cure, not only about Ebola, but about other diseases, COVID-19. The vaccine is still there for us to take, and we want to use this medium to implore those who are yet to take advantage of the COVID-19 vaccine available at various health centers to go and take the COVID-19, and to others who have taken the vaccine, we should try as much as possible to educate others as well, and take care of our body, like you rightly said. We should eat good food when it is necessary. And I want to appreciate Dr. Akim Bello once again for finding time to be on the program here at Cafe. Last soon, Oyebayo is the executive producer of the program, while the producer is Shola Oguleye. On behalf of the entire production crew in the studio here this morning, I want to appreciate our esteemed viewers at home for finding time to be with us on the program. My name is Adeyemi Abodere. AM Cafe will return tomorrow morning. Same station, same time. We want to thank you for being there, and good morning.